Kunumustahan is a project featuring the economic platforms of all presidential, vice presidential, and senatorial candidates, dependent on the publicly available data and successful interviews of representatives. Ekonsepto does not endorse any party or individual and will strive to give equal exposure to all qualified candidates.
Well, in times of extreme emergencies where there are shortages of basic food supply, I believe importation could be an option. But in the medium and long term, I think in order to address food security, we have to plan our agricultural development and sustainability in a more precise and professional manner. We have to start innovating, and I believe self-sufficiency of basic staples would lead to food security. And so, in this regard, I think we have to modernize our agriculture. We should not be simply romanticizing the agricultural development scenario. Okay? We should stop romanticizing the problems that we are facing in the agricultural sector to gain sympathy from farmers and the fishermen and other food producers to enhance our respective candidacies. Our principal objective should be to ensure food security, to ensure adequate supply at reasonable and lowest cost possible. Because at the moment, I believe our general food prices is quite high. Why? Because we import almost everything. And one way to do this, to address this, is to come up with a comprehensive, integrated agricultural development program that would address the specific issues from the cost factor input all the way down to distribution and marketing to retail. Because most of our politicians now are only looking at the retail prices. They have not really checked the reasons why, or studied the reasons why our retail prices are high. They have not really done extensive studies in determining why our cost inputs, our agricultural production inputs are high. For example, on the matter of agricultural financing, most of our farmers are actually, they have to borrow from the Bombay system, 5-6. They pay as much as 20% interest for the loans that they avail in order to plant for a certain season. And should they be not so fortunate and a typhoon strikes them, then they go bankrupt. And many of them are already in this state of bankruptcy. And so we will have to overhaul the entire system. We will have to make sure that agricultural inputs such as fertilizers are cost effective. We have to make sure that seeds are the best in the market, and all the agricultural extension services that could be provided by the Department of Agriculture should be made available to both small farmers, subsistence farmers, and large-scale plantations. In this order, we would be able to compete, effectively in the agricultural sector. And we are already in a state of desperation. You know why? The Philippines agricultural production comes to the tune of about $1 to $2 billion. Compare that to Thailand, which generates about $14 billion in agricultural production in terms of dollar terms. So we're looking at 7 times. Even little Taiwan, a country that has infertile lands and basically less than half the size of Luzon, has a bigger agricultural production in terms of revenues compared to the Philippines. And we have more fertile lands, we have more people, in the agricultural sector. So, in other words, we will have to come up with a new set of innovations, with new set of programs that will address the various issues and challenges that the agricultural sector is facing. And I intend, should we be given the opportunity to serve as the second highest official of our republic, I intend to prioritize on agro, industrial, and resource development. It will be very comprehensive. It will be managed professionally, and it will be planned by people who really know what they're doing and not just, fantasizing the problems of our farmers and our fishermen.
Ekonsepto, economics for everyone.